All right, everybody, we are here. We're live.
What's
Okay.
up?
First
Feels
of
so
all,
good
let
to be
me
back.
introduce Brandon from the Hawkaholic Show. He does a show with Brad. I don't know what Brad's last name is. Moley or Mooley?
Mole.
Mole.
Mole. I
Mole.
think
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Mole. Yeah.
Okay. All
Molly.
right.
Molly or Mole. Because he
All
messes
right.
my last name up all the time too.
All
So
right. Yeah, we're here to talk basketball. We're here to talk about the season coming up. We'll talk about Purdue. We'll talk about Fran, whether it's time for him to be moving on and things like that. But first, Brandon, could you just tell us how you and Brad hooked up on that Hawkaholic show? We are also streaming live right now on your format.
well, I hope we got all day if you really want it long, but I'll try to make it nice and sweet. So
All right.
about last November, there was a podcast that covers the Big Ten called the Big Ten Backers, who eventually transformed into what is now known as the Buckeye Backers because one half of that group is serving our country overseas for the Air Force. So
Oh,
God
wow.
bless him. God
Mhm.
bless him. He's good guy. He's actually the one that I met at the Iowa tailgate. So they showed up at a tailgate. They posted on Facebook for people that they wanted to interview, and one of them was in Iowa, and the other one was in your neck of the woods for the USC UCLA game. And so they showed up, and I was a little bit under the weather, as in I had a little bit too much Coors Light, and so we got to talking, and I was like, that would be kind of awesome. I went to school at Iowa Central and Fort Dodge for TV and radio broadcasting. I might as well see what's up.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay. And then I asked them, I'm like, hey, who's your network? They set me up with this network called the College Football Dogs. Did all this stuff with them. I had a friend of mine who wanted to do a podcast with me, but he ended up not liking all the politics, all this stuff that the dogs was about. So I'm like, whatever. So I was like, crap, I'm not going to have a podcast. So I reach out and I'm like, hey, does anybody know anybody that would be able to help me out? Doesn't necessarily have to be an Iowa fan, but at least try to help me out. Well, they're like, okay, well, I know somebody who helps out with college baseball. His name's Brad, but he lives in Florida. And I'm like, all right, cool. Shoot him a message. Let's do it. Fast forward August, had our first show, got hooked up with the Hawkeye Heaven Facebook page. So, yes, we are a real deal. I'm not saying we're the best Iowa Hawkeye podcast because I guarantee you there's better ones than us. We just drop F bombs and drink beer on air. That's our claim to fame.
Well, your show reminds me because I've watched several episodes, as you know. Your show reminds me of a couple of guys sitting at the bar drinking some beer and just talking Hawks. You
That's our
know.
goal. That is our
Yep.
mission. That is all we care about.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be like, we don't want to be, and I'll tell you this. I don't want to, I mean, I'll probably drop a couple bombs on your show as long as that's okay. Cause that's just, I was unfortunately raised with my family, a bunch of sailors. All they do is talk crap and cuss and drink and all that. So my thing is, we like to do what we do. We like to have fun. We just want to be friends with everybody. You know, that's why this is what we do. We talk like buddies.
Yeah.
So,
That's what.
and
It's
we
good.
like to be welcoming to guests. So, like, say for example, we had Carson King on. If you guys know who that is, College Game Day, the Bush Light guy who had the sign on Venmo for Bush Light. Well, I absolutely despise Iowa State, and not the audience doesn't know this, but you know this. I don't like Iowa State, but I was respectful. We dropped a couple bombs with him and drank some beer on air. So
That's
nothing
great.
wrong. Nothing wrong with drinking beer on air. Now the thing is, now we got to get a sponsorship, but I'm pretty sure you have to have over like 50K to get a real professional sponsorship.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well,
Something
hey,
like
we're gonna use this as a segue.
yeah,
This guy name is Jerry Stanford, also known as JT. He also does a podcast um, um, called "Punting is Winning" with his brother, and he kind of like yourself. when I first started cruising, you guys started advertising all over Facebook about your show coming up and when it was going to be. And I texted you guys and said, "Hey, I wish you guys the best of luck because I know that it's a hard thing to do, getting viewers and getting time and everything." And that's so I did that. And Jerry and his brother started advertising their podcast ahead of time. I did the same thing. I also messaged them and wished them a lot of luck on everything. So, it's just like, hey, that's what it is.
The more the merrier. I look at it that way. Now, my thing is,
We help each other out. That's what I
Yeah.
like. Help each
yeah, we're family.
Yeah, there are some Hawkeye podcasters out there that would nothing to do with us. They don't want anything
Yeah.
at us as like, okay, who cares?
Yep.
But anyway, Jerry kind of agrees with you on Muyu.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
You'll never get me to root for them. Now, actually, that's a lie. There are a couple teams that I would root against and root for Iowa State. I can't name them yet, man. We'll talk about that later.
All right. So, okay. All right. Let's just quickly talk about the Purdue game before we get into Fran and the Fran issues. All right. All right. So, after watching this game, and by the way, people, this guy only watched the highlights. He did not watch the game.
I don't have Peacock, and you would think that I would have Peacock because my wife loves her TV shows and movies. So,
you know what? They've got a special $29.99 for the whole year. Sign up for it.
I'm such a money. Yeah,
Come on,
I like to save my
$30.
money, even though
you're blowing your money on
season tickets.
traveling to
Yeah.
all these football stadiums in Oklahoma, Michigan, and everything this year.
I'm gonna have to give one up because unless you're buying those Missouri tickets in Norman for me, then I'm gonna have to give one up.
Okay, well, I don't know because I don't even know how much Sooner tickets go for.
A lot. I've seen there a lot.
Are they?
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
rather see him play Texas, but didn't we decide the weekend I was there was the weekend that they're playing Missouri?
Yeah, we got to get revenge on Missouri after that December bowl game. I'm still mad about that. Dang it.
Okay. All right. So, let's just talk about the game first.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I was a little bit surprised that we got off to a hot start, and we pretty much maintained it the entire first half, I think. And then I think we lost the lead, kind of like the women did near the half. But we got it right back on the first couple of back buckets we made right after halftime, and I thought, God, I don't want to get too excited because this is Purdue, Now the number one team in the Big Ten, they're no longer second place; they're first place after beating us. And I just like, oh my God, I don't want to get excited. And I'm thinking they're just figuring this out. Oh yeah, Jerry says they were tied at half. Okay, thank you, Jerry. They were tied at half. And so, but here's the thing I took away from it. We didn't have Owen Freeman, so we lost 16 points and maybe, 9 rebounds a game or something.
Right.
From Owen by not being there. We tried 3 different people at the post. Braun. Dumbelly. Which I don't think he even belongs on a Division I program. Excuse me.
Nah.
And the person who started McGolvey, and honestly, between the 3 of them, here's the deal: 6 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 block shots. That's all we could muster up from that position yesterday.
What do you I mean,
we don't. I mean, this is Fran's fault because why was everything falling on one post player and we didn't have another post player ready to go that can do things? Why aren't we encouraging our post players to be offensive minded like Owen? Are they not capable of turning around and dunking a ball or something? I mean, Mulvey is like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He should have been absolutely dominating. Here's your partner in crime.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Hi, Brad.
What's up, Brad?
And we gave up, as Jerry said, we gave up 54 points in the second half. Unacceptable. So,
well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to ask a question because
okay.
I'm such a terrible Iowa basketball fan. Well, actually, no. As Brad is aware, he's watching. I'm a pessimist.
Mm-hmm.
You would have hated me for the Licklider era. You would have absolutely blocked my phone number. You would have blocked my Facebook, everything.
So you see things as glass half empty, not as half full.
Yes.
Okay, you and I are in the same boat. I'm the same way.
It's because I'm an Iowa fan. This is all I've ever learned. It's like I hate to use this reference, but it's like going to jail 5 million times and then coming back home after you get out of jail and you tell your wife or your mom or whatever, I'm not going to do it again. And your mom's like, this is the 8th time that you said that you were not going to go get in trouble and go back to jail. So here's my thing though. They did okay for what they had. That wasn't, I thought we were going to get blown out.
I agree with you. I didn't think it would even be close. I thought it would look more like a UCLA game.
Purdue is the bullies of, in my opinion, they're the bullies of Big Ten basketball. Sup, Chick-fil-A? They've always have been. Painter runs his program like good old Gene Toupee Keedy. Did he have a toupee or was that his real hair? I
think he had a toupee because now you see him, he ain't got no hair when they bring him on courtside.
God, my grandpa, man, I have so many stories about Iowa basketball when it comes to coaches, especially him. My grandpa hated him. I loved him because he had such.
I love to hate him. I love to hate him.
But yeah, Painter to me runs his team just like Katie did, and they're always physical. That's who Purdue was, and I feel like the way that you beat Purdue is just chuck up a bunch of threes and pray to Jesus they all hit.
Well, I was listening to a podcast on my way back from town today, and the one where I sent you a text, I was running a little behind because I didn't know. I got stuck in a line that was taking forever. However, I was listening to a podcast and, God, where was I going with this? Oh, they thought that maybe we should switch, just forget the 3 post players that we used in yesterday's game, bench them, go with a smaller lineup, and see if we can just outrun and start chucking threes up.
I watch a lot.
They were thinking the season's over anyway. Why not just
get the guys some experience? I'll tell you what. Any experience, NBA or college, that I've ever watched that has done small ball has usually not worked out. You gotta have big guys. You gotta have bigs.
Okay, but do you remember a couple of years ago, and this kind of goes to what Jerry's saying here, no second weekends at the NCAA. Do you remember the year that Oregon went small ball? I think it was our second game. Their first, because the team they were supposed to play opted out because of COVID. Okay.
They were small.
Year. They didn't have any big guys. Yeah. They just ran us out of the gym.
It works every now and then, and it just depends on who you're playing. But in general, I'm not a fan of small ball, even though I am a small guy myself. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a small guy, but I played guard when I played basketball, so I've always been a fan of, when I was younger, of small ball. And then I switched. And then as an adult, as a fan, I switch. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, they did. However, I feel like what we should do for the rest of the year is we should probably just give everybody minutes. The hell with it. Screw it.
All right. So right now, is the issues going on with Fran all his fault, or is there some other things that we don't really know about?
I
Like,
don't
okay,
think.
he's lost Cooper Koch for the year, and now he's
Yeah,
lost Freeman for the year.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. So, do I want to give Fran the benefit of the doubt? No, not really, because this says it all right here. That was Garza's last game, that Oregon game. When we had
Yep.
Garza, and that same year we also had the Murray twins on that team, and Jordan Bohannon. We did
Right.
not get to the second weekend. If we were ever going to get to the second weekend, that was the team that was going to get us there.
Yep.
And it's just unforgivable that we've never gotten to the second weekend, and we rarely get to the second day, the second round of the tournament. Rarely.
It's just some bad juju. That's all I can think of.
Bad juju, or is it just Fran? Because I mean, let's face it. Right now, not even. Yeah, we're very close to not making the tournament. I don't know if everybody realizes with 18 teams,
Yep.
the bottom 3 teams don't get to play in the Big Ten tournament.
Oh, it's 3. I thought it was 4. Good.
Top
looking
15,
out.
yeah,
I didn't
top
know
15 get to
I
play.
didn't know
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
So
Good. Show some
and
accountability.
we're very close. We're very close to being in that bottom 3, and we're going to talk about that when we look at the schedule ahead. About if we think there are any winnable games without Owen right now.
God, you're gonna hate me. The fans will hate me. Be like, "Oh, this is negative Nancy. Never bring him back on the freaking show again."
I think we're all negative Nancy's this time.
Well,
Well, it's like this is different. I mean, think about this for a second. This is really different. When it comes to football, about half the fan base is tired of Kirk and would like him to move on.
right.
The other half are very loyal, very faithful, want to keep him. And so there's
Yes.
kind of a divide on the football fans on what to do.
Right.
I haven't found one person who thinks Fran should stay. I think it seems like everybody, including the media people, are thinking Fran needs to go.
You wouldn't be in.
And if Fran's not going to leave, then there needs to be some healthy changes next year. We can't go on like we are.
You wouldn't be afraid to go on like a little wild goose chase and find the Franholics.
I don't know. If there are any Franholics out there watching this, make yourself known.
So, is Kelvin? Are you there, buddy? Is he
That's
watching?
what I think. Kelvin is not here tonight. Where is he? Let me send him a text real quick.
So he is a Kirk
He's
freak,
a Kirk loyalist.
which I'm okay with. There's nothing wrong with that. I could probably give you a big old speech on that one, but I don't think he's really told me. Yeah, I agree with Brad on
He's
this.
here. He's here. He's here.
He is? Okay.
Yeah, he just said he was here.
Kelvin, do me a huge favor. Can you comment real quick on your personal opinion on Fran as best as you can in like a little small paragraph so it's not like the whole freaking page?
And I agree with Jerry, and this is why I've been kind of saying he's not. He got to coach his 2 older sons, so he saw them play basketball.
Yep.
College, okay, and I'm sure he wants to see Jack play in college. So
right. My son's coming in. Get ready. So there's going to be some loud noise in the background. I was going to make a comment. I'm sorry to interrupt. 2 things.
Yes.
My thing with Fran is I think now that the injuries are piling up, I think we're now starting to be aware of his head's in Indiana. He's not in Iowa. He's in Indiana with his kids.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Calvin. Hi, son. Hey, Calvin. Calvin might be a Kirk loyalist, but it looks like he agrees that we need a new coach in basketball.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Thank you, Calvin, for answering that.
Appreciate it, dude.
Okay. Margaret won't stay in Iowa City when the kids are all in Indy. True.
Yep.
True. Hi there, little guy. How are you?
Canyon. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Oh, his coloring's like you.
Yeah, see, I told you. It's just the lighting, man. But yeah, I agree. I don't think his head. I think he's in Indianapolis with his kids, man. I've said that. I even said that before the whole thing started.
Yeah, he just doesn't have his heart into it this year.
And-
I mean, a couple of times where he would have normally gone ballistic and red face and stomp and scream.
Right.
He would make a half-hearted attempt to say, "Well, that's not right," and then just put his hands in his pants. And
Are you one
walk
of
away.
those? Are you one of those people that like this psychological part? Do you like see, like, watch him how he moves? Do you watch how he like just the things he says on camera and just kind of how he walks around on the sidelines? Are you a Hawk Talk? Do you listen to his Hawk Talks at all ever?
I haven't for a long time because he's kind of boring.
He's always been boring.
I know, it's just like, and he's always political correct. I mean, even Kirk. I mean, even Kirk, when you listen to his interview shows, I mean, he's kind of funny. He'll say something funny or something. Oh, Kirk would never think. Fran would never think of doing that.
I agree on that one.
He's all business, and at one time he wouldn't even talk to Dolph. Every interview had to be run through Bobby Hansen.
Maybe that's another part of his issues. He's too serious.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's a ball of fire behind the walls and away from basketball and away from the public. I'm sure his kids see him as a fun-loving dad and a lot of fun. And Margaret sees something there, but
who knows?
People were making fun of him because I think Jack's his last kid, and how he was like. They said he was something. He must have been in his late 40s or early 50s when he had Jack. He's 65, so yeah.
Is he really? My God, I didn't realize.
But people forget that his wife's about 10 years younger than he is.
You're kidding. I did not know that. Supposedly, back in the day, he had like a really good basketball career, from what everybody's been saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, they met at Notre Dame, him and Margaret, when she was a basketball player on the team, and he was assistant coach on the men's team.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
So, are we getting to the Owen Freeman part of things? The depressing, sad.
Yeah. Let's
be sad.
Well, everybody by now knows, because if they watched the game last night, or if they're boycotting the game, they don't know.
Right.
Owen Freeman is done for the year. And like I said, where are those 16, 17 points a game going to come from? Where are those 9 rebounds going to come from? Because last night's experiment proved wrong. He put all 3 guys out there. None of them came through.
His time is going by. He's at the door. Hey,
there is a theory too that if there's rumors are out there that both Harding and Owen are going to supposedly jump in the portal, but Fran said yesterday he's not. But he did, of course, would he be telling Fran that now? No, probably not. But the consensus is that if Fran leaves, so do those guys. Or we might lose a good portion of our team if we do that.
Oh well.
Well, I was just thinking, too. I was just hoping, like, whoever we get could use some of the players that we've got, because when you think about this, the 3 guys that they've got signed for next year, well, including the transfer, those guys are all like 4-star players.
Yeah, they're really freaking good.
They look really good. They're athletic. It's something we haven't had a lot with our team, because Fran usually gets shooters, but now he looks like he's getting guys that can shoot and create their own plays, and just think they might be able to play a little defense.
Who's that kid? That Miami kid? What's his name again?
Hang on.
Oh, I can't think.
I have it because we were going to talk about that too.
I can't remember what that kid's name was, but he's
Isaiah Johnson Aragu. I'll just say Argu.
Sure. Hey, if you want a cheat sheet, go look at your on 3.
There you go.
We got 21 newcomers. Oh, I can't wait to talk football when it comes to the guys that we signed. I'm so excited for that. I'm sorry if I don't sound enthused about basketball, audience. Usually,
this is where we talk about, like Jerry says, there's a big disconnect with Fran. I think the disconnect is definitely between the fans and the him. I don't know how his players feel. I don't think there's a disconnect with the players. I feel the players love this guy. If you listen to Jordan Bohannon,
Yeah.
Bohannon's podcast before Everywhere Iowa took it off the air, he never missed a beat to pump up Fran and what he was doing.
Oh, I'm sure he's a great coach, and like us fans,
Mhm.
we don't get the benefit to see him do his thing. Like I'll tell you what, I think our best bet would have been to like be a young person and go to his basketball camps. That's kind of how I found out about. I mean, I knew Steve. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a Steve Alford fan. Okay, I know the man personally. Actually, I don't know him anymore, but I knew him personally when he was in Iowa. It's a long story, but kind of in regards to Fran, you kind of have to go a little bit behind the scenes and not necessarily be in front of a camera or be at the arena or wherever. So
yeah, Jerry wants to know when we're going to start letting it rip on Fran. I thought we were ripping on him.
this is Dane's show. When he says go, I'll go. But
You go, rip, buddy, rip.
You
Let's
want me to
hear it.
rip?
I want to hear what you have to say. I've been talking enough.
How many you want to do it? Oh, too bad you weren't good with like graphics and stuff. We'd get like a little F-bomb counter at the top right, so we can see how many F-bombs I can drop in one second.
You know what? Next time we do this, between you and Brad and Andrew, I'm going to have you guys help me with some graphics and put them right down there in that present part. And then when we need them, they'll be there.
Brad's the graphic man.
Okay.
No offense, Andrew. I don't know much detail. You'll have to tell me sometime your details on your graphic knowledge. But Brad went to school for it. Oh Jesus! Yes, I'll say something about that here in a little bit.
Yes, we will get to that.
Yes, I promise. I promise.
Oh, look, Jerry wants to talk Hawkeye baseball too, so we'll get there. I want Brad to release his Brandon to release his innermost thoughts here on our coach. Go for it.
I think he loves coaching basketball, but I don't think he's got a lot of, he misses his family. And I get that. I'm going to get that way too. Dean, you experienced it being a dad and grandparent. I don't know what it's like to be a grandparent. I do know what it's like to be a parent. And I guarantee you right now, man, if we skipped forward freaking 15 years to when my son turns 18, and if he decides to go out of the house or whatever he does, I'm going to miss him. And the father in me understands if you miss your kids and they're 2 states away, I get it. But you've got 2 months left, buddy. Get the hell out. It's going to fly. You got 28 or 23 days left in February, and then you got March. You're out.
Yeah, and more than likely you're done after your last game on March 9th.
Just
your last home game is probably your last game.
Just go be with your kids, man. Like, if that's what's holding you back, if that's what's kicking your butt right now, then I'm sorry, dude. Like, you got my sympathy as long as, I said I was going to rip, and I was hype. You were hyping me up too before I got on here. And then this was like, since you asked me to be on here, and now I can't find it in my heart to like, just start Hulk Hogan it and just.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. I won't hold back. He needs to go. All right. He needs to go. We need to have a program change. We need to have something different. We need to bring back the excitement because right now in the stands, what did we say that was? 8,000 people in the stands last night, and 25% of them, according to Byron, were Purdue fans.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you, but I have a kind of funny story. It'll be like a minute long, I promise. So,
okay, all right.
I told you I went to the New Orleans game, right? Mm-hmm. When we played New Orleans. Okay. I sent you a picture of where I had my original seat and then where I ended up sitting.
Right.
So a guy I work with who works in one of the clinics I work at the University of Iowa Healthcare Center, ladies and gentlemen. Good job. Benefits are good. But anyway, So he's actually a member of the I Club, so he gets one of those little padded, like he gets to sit all the way at the bottom below the little, I can't think of what they're called, those little padded seats. Well, he's asked me several times, and this was before the New Orleans game. The crowd's not that great. And this was even in the beginning of the year when they had a really good record.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got there, I let the seats sit up, and he told me where his seats were, and I kept looking down there to see if anybody would go, take his spot. And so I'm like, you know what, screw this. I got like a minute until tip off. I might as well just scoot down there. I ended up sitting in those seats. I think I was third or fourth row from the floor.
Okay.
And I never got a spot stolen. Now, or not stolen, but like I sat in somebody's spot. Well, that's never happened before. And you could probably credit Caitlin Clark and the Iowa women's team for changing it, because it actually used to be Iowa women that you could sit anywhere you wanted to. And now it's the men. Even though I am much more of an Iowa men's basketball fan than I am a women's, it's nice for me, but I also like it's kind of sad the way that the attendance has been for Carver.
Yeah. Speaking of the women's game, back in the early 2000s, 2003, 2002, somewhere in there, somewhere right in there, when my wife's father was dying, and he was at the Vets Hospital there in Iowa City, so we'd be down there every weekend, or every chance we could. And I actually put him in a wheelchair, and we went over and we got to watch one of the women's games there at that time. And he was so excited because his mind wasn't totally right at the time. And he goes, I know that woman. I know that woman. He was talking about Coach Bluter.
Yeah.
And he was so excited to be there. And then later on, I went with my grandson to a football game. And so we went in to watch the practice. So we were down there courtside on the floor watching, and they didn't seem to bother us. They didn't care that we were watching.
It's crazy.
Find me one top program with a terrible home court advantage. Exactly.
You'd call us a top program.
We used to be.
Yeah, we did. Can you imagine how fun this would have been if, like, in the early 2000s, when like Luke Recker, Reggie Evans, dare I say Pierre Pierce, but when he was not being stupid and playing basketball, that was exciting. But
he was an exciting basketball player. Too bad he ruined his career and his life.
And then there was that other guy.
That was the beginning, and Pierre Pierce was the beginning of Alford's downslide out of Iowa City.
Yeah.
People hated him for that.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine if social media was as big as it is today?
Yeah, oh my God, because social media wasn't really a thing, and the internet was in its infancy at the time.
Okay.
I know what he's trying to say. I knew what he was trying to say.
Oh,
but there was a time. I mean, we may not have been North Carolina or Duke or anything like that, but there was a time where we were a top 5 team consistently in the Big Ten. And so even as few as I think last year, didn't we even finish in the top 5 or 6? I don't remember. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we finished lower. I know we had an awful season last year. So I want to go back up to something here. Here he talks about Alford and DJK, Mr. Non-Character poster boys for Iowa.
I don't want to talk about. That's just sad. The DJK thing is sad.
Alford is Satan.
Depending on how you knew him.
Yeah, and effing rapist twice.
That I don't know about. So
Pierce.
I thought he wasn't he talking about Alford?
He was talking about Alford, but not as a rapist.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, I know this is a show where we were going to blast on Fran and talk about the schedule and stuff, but since you had met the guy and knew him a little bit when he was still in Iowa City, what was he really like? Was he the jerk around
No.
town that people said he was?
No, not at all.
Because everybody would say he was a jerk. He'd come into like a place for a lawnmower and demand it for free.
To his family and his friends, no.
Okay.
I can't speak for those who didn't actually know him. So
Brad, you don't. It's all about the player that played for him, Pierre Pierce, during Alford years, and that Alford defended him the first time, and Alford had no choice but to kick him off the team the second time. But
I had newspaper clippings from that whole ordeal, and I don't know where it went. I probably tossed it, but yeah. So Alford, dude, he was cool. So my mom's boss was working for. Oh, let's see. Let me rephrase this. So my mom's boss's wife worked with Steve Alford's wife. So put that together, we got to hang out. We got to hang out. So, damn it, Brad. We can't tell if you're. Oh, that's the problem with text messaging. And then, yeah, damn millennials.
Yeah. And this is actually true here, what Jerry says. That's true. Nephew said he wanted plumbing free in exchange for a TV commercial appearance. Nowadays, you don't even have to ask for that. Nowadays, like with all the new technology and stuff, a lot of these people will get free services and free stuff.
Right.
If you just advertise it on your show or your podcast. Like some of the guys, I think a couple of the guys on a couple of podcasts got free cars just for pumping up the cars. Somebody else, I mean, they get free gardening or they get free testosterone. There's a testosterone thing in Iowa City there, buddy. Iowa City and Liberty or somewhere in there.
Are you making fun of me for being old, Dean?
No. There's a place for guys to go who have low testosterone where they can build it back up. And while they're building it back up, they do stuff that actually they're starting to lose weight because they're starting to get their metabolism back and everything. Oh. They get free services for that. They get to go and do that as long as they keep advertising on their show.
I could use.
I have time to look for. That's the kind of sponsor I need. Somebody give me free stuff for talking about them.
Well, as I don't know if Brad's told you or not, but as I've told you, all you got to do is ask. You don't have to see them face to face, at least on here. All you got to do is be like, so here's my proposition. I will advertise you if you give me a Butterfinger. So like Nestle or whatever. Can I get a Butterfinger and I'll advertise? Oh, Jerry, I feel really old, man.
Jerry, he's not even 40 yet.
I'm 34.
You're so young.
I don't feel.
My kids are in their 40s.
I don't feel like it.
Oh, to be 34 again. That'd be the life.
Oh, to be 22 again. That's what I wish I could go back to. I didn't have all these aches and pains.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here's what's going. If Fran finished out of the top half of the Big Ten as often as Alford, just saying, let alone his character.
I was just thinking about this. So I graduated this will really make you feel old, probably. I graduated high school in 2008, but I did not remember that Alford was let go in 2007. I don't remember him.
He quit.
Yeah, but I don't remember him staying that late.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact year. But yeah, it was between 2005 and 2007 because I was living in Hubbard since 2005. So it was one of those years. Calvin will tell us here in a minute. He always comes back with the year.
I know he
don't
does.
quite know.
That's why I enjoy his presence on our show too, because we get who was it? Him and there was a couple other people that were dropping just knowledge after knowledge. I love that. That's one of my favorite things about fans. and like commenters and stuff. They like add stuff.
Yeah. I wish I could find a way to have a phone call-in show like Corey
Well,
Brada does. And
there,
that would be
there's
so cool to bring people on. Or I could just give them the I could just send the link for to get on here like we are, and then we can
Right.
bring them in and talk to them.
I think there is ways, but I just don't know how to do it.
Hmm. Yeah. If any of you guys want a link sent to you to get on here,
I'd say Brad, but if he wants to spot our
you could send him the link in your. You could send the link from your. I can.
He's
and see if he wants to get on.
What day is it? Wednesday? He's actually free, I think. So what's up next, Chief? You're the boss. What do we got?
Okay. All right. Well, I did kind of want to mention the recruits. We did talk about them briefly, but I kind of wanted to mention, we got a guy by the name, and I don't know even how to say this guy, but he committed last year, Badra Tikite.
I don't know.
Diakite.
That guy.
He's a 3-star. He's a 6'10" center.
What?
And then we got Joshua Lewis, actually a 4-star, 6'7", strong forward. Desmond Briscoe, a center. Now he's listed as a center, but he's only 6'8", and he's a 3-star.
Can I ask you something? And this is going to sound absolutely awful.
Okay.
Are you a recruiting fan? Because I certainly am not, and I have my reasonings, but I just want to know your answer, and then I'll give you mine.
I kind of am. I kind of want to know. I don't get too excited. I want to know who we're after, and I want to know, who's interested in Iowa and who actually committed. But I don't get totally 100%, yay, rah, 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 until they sign on the dotted line, and then they show up for the first day of class. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'm basically the same way, but my thing more so is for example, like that wrestling guy we just picked up, Bo Bassett, everybody's freaking out over him. Well, yes, he may be good, but we haven't seen him put on an Iowa singlet and go against collegiate wrestlers yet. I gotta see you before I we got a really good prospect. Yeah, well, I used to be that guy that was saying stuff like that, but then just like with my teams, especially the Hawks, got to see it to believe it, and I get burned.
So they also got a kid who's I think he's gonna announce tomorrow, might be the number 2 kid in this class wrestling, is Jax Forrest.
Did you see his tweet? The way he worded it, it makes it sound like he's going to I'm gonna guess he's gonna go to Penn State.
Okay. Well, I was kind of hoping, since he's a Pennsylvania guy, and
I just don't.
They kind of credit a little bit of Spencer Lee of getting Bo here. That maybe Bo could get, Jax to come with him.
Just read how Jax congratulated Bo. You're gonna do great things.
Yeah. And so what you're reading between the lines, saying
and I'm probably thinking way far into this, way into this. Which, if I'm wrong, I like being wrong. I love being wrong when it comes to pessimism.
Yeah.
This
is going so well. We really aren't going to get to.
This is what happens when Brad and I get on our show. We just and
I like it.
2 hours.
I love the way it's going. I love the way it's going.
2 hours later, it's just, oh God, it's.
Brad says he read it the same way you did. Okay, all right. You guys are probably a little, more in tune to me because you're younger.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
These things kind of have a tendency to, I get made fun of by the grandkids all the time. All right. What I wanted to talk about was Iowa's next 9 games, the last 9 games of the season.
Let's look those up. I got my handy dandy Hawkeye app on my phone. Do you have one?
I do, but I also wrote it down so I wouldn't have to pick up the phone to do it.
Oh God, are you ready for
Got
this?
it? Yeah.
You want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to have Jerry says we got 9 losses coming.
Wisconsin
Calvin says 1-8. Okay, let's go with it. Win or loss? Win or
at
loss?
Wait a minute. So you want me to read the games and then decide? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Come on. Let's get bold. Let's get bold.
Wisconsin lost. Rutgers lost. Maryland lost. Oregon lost. Washington, I'll be at that game, so that's a W.
Okay.
At Illinois, I really wanted to go to that game. That's one of my favorite basketball rivalries. Loss. At Northwestern, loss. Versus Michigan State, loss. Finale against Nebraska in Nebraska, that's a loss. And I'll tell you why it's a loss, because usually Iowa goes back and forth with that school.
Oh, yeah.
Just they can't sweep. Neither team can sweep. It's always 1-1.
Yeah, but we didn't beat Nebraska this year already. I think we lost to them already. Didn't we?
I thought we beat them. Pretty sure we beat them, didn't we?
I have it down as a 97-87 loss in overtime.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we'll
maybe
get
do you want to change that? But we
No,
don't
we'll
have
get-
Owen. No.
no, we'll get swept.
Okay. Here's what I got. I got us losing to Wisconsin. I actually got us winning Rutgers. Don't ask me why. I just thought, Rutgers is one of the teams fighting to stay out of the bottom that we're fighting with.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, they're actually on right now against Illinois. I'm gonna watch.
How's
that.
Illinois doing against them?
Let me see. I'm getting so excited for baseball. I was watching the Dominican League on MLB Network. Let's see.
Oh. Okay.
I love baseball.
Hey,
Especially-
pitchers and catchers for the Major League Baseball should be reporting pretty soon, don't they?
Next week.
Next week? Cool.
But I know the Cubs and the Dodgers report early because they're going to have an early spring training game, and then they're going to play in Japan. So, did we? You sure?
I don't know. I wrote it down as a loss. I got it 97-87 loss in overtime. All right.
Are you thinking of women?
No, we lost to them, and women lost to them too.
Jeez.
Whoops. Get back to the handy dandy Hawkeye app that we talk about.
I don't like. Well, for some things, I'm not a fan of it, but God, this is pathetic journalism right here.
Hey, sometimes we got to figure it out on the fly, right?
Oh, Iowa did win. We won. So okay, yes. See, I was okay.
We did. Did we win?
Yeah.
We won.
Yes.
Okay. How did I get that down as a loss? I must have been looking at it wrong. Okay.
That's okay. It happens.
Okay. My bad, guys. My bad. All right. Okay. So I was going to go through mine list too. So I said I'd put Rutgers as a win, Maryland as a loss, Oregon as a loss, and I agree with you. Washington is another team fighting to stay out of the bottom 3, but I think we can beat them at
They're
home.
terrible. They're
Yeah.
bad.
Okay. Illinois a loss. I did kind of put down half 50-50 game here for Northwestern. I figured that could go either way. So it's at Northwestern, so it's probably a loss. Michigan State and then at Nebraska, both losses. So I have them at finishing 2-7 to round out the
Really?
year. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the
Wow.
last games, 2-7. So I don't know. Golly, guys, if you put that on their record, which is now what, 13-9, 2-7, we finished the season at 15-16.
Yeah.
That might get us to the NIT.
I'll take it.
Maybe. Because
what
they take the teams with losing records now.
Yeah, participation trophies. Hey, what happened to that? Do they still do that invitation? Not the NIT, but the one below it, the CBIT or what was that called?
Yeah, I think they do at least one of those. I'm pretty sure. And the women has a couple different levels too.
Yeah.
You know, I heard today on a podcast that the women are firmly back in the NCAA tournament. I'm not there yet. We got a lot of tough games to play.
You'll have to update me on that. CBIT, yep.
Yeah. Barnhauser out for the year. Which team does he play for? I should know this, but it's
Barnhauser.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Northwestern.
Northwestern.
Jerry beat us to it.
Brooks. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, if that helps us win, maybe if that gives us a little edge, then we can finish 3-6 for the year. That would probably give us a 500 record then.
Yay.
Yay. Yay. To a team that hasn't had a 20-win season in 3 years. I think we had 18 wins last year and 19 wins the year before.
Score. This
will be the third, unless a miracle happens, this will be the third year in a row that we don't get to 20 wins.
So it's way early right now, but it's 15-6 Rutgers over Illinois.
Are they at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually the home team always gets off to a good start, then the other team catches up and passes.
Yep.
You know, that's what I thought would happen with the Purdue game last night, which is what exactly did happen.
Right.
You know, it's like with the women when we were playing USC and we got off to that hot start. I thought, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time, and it took them till the last shot of halftime to catch up and lead us. But 500, striving to be mediocre. Yeah, Fran's gone. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I just think, honestly, I think Fran leaves on his own accord. I don't think Beth has to make that tough decision. I really don't.
Is that 2 buyouts then if we go get the Iowan in West Virginia, DeVries?
If we go get somebody like DeVries who has a buyout, we have to pay not only our buyout, but their buyout. If we fire Fran, if we can get Fran to leave on his own.
Now, would he spite us and just, would he like say, hell?
If I were Fran, I would say, you got to fire me.
Yeah.
Because I want that buyout money. If this is my last year, I want that $4 million to come with me.
You know what's crazy too? He's the all-time winningest coach for Iowa, but yet here we are talking about him the way we are. Mm-hmm. Isn't that wild? Same thing with Kirk. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Not happening because he is at West, and he is in his first year. I honestly don't. I'm not holding out hope that he would be coming.
No,
but I would like somebody similar who's up and coming, who's been proving that he can win, is energetic, has his team playing energetic. I mean, what is wrong? You can still play both defense and off and be a high scoring team at the same time.
Right.
They're not mutually exclusively. You know, why can't Fran have both? Yeah, I agree with you, Jerry. As much as the fans want this guy and they think we do have a chance, I think we have no chance.
All right.
Do we have a chance with the Drake guy, though? Do we want him?
Let me be optimistic. I'm going for him. Screw it.
Okay. All righty. Okay. If we go for the Drake guy, who's like 20-2 right now or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But if we go for him, is he just winning with DeVries guys last year and give him another year or two when he has to play his own guys?
I don't know.
Okay.
His conference.
This is one that Jerry brought up on his podcast the other day. Jared Calhoun at Utah State, and he did beat Iowa.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Utah State's having a pretty decent season.
It's always funny to me when we lose to teams that are like for example, Eastern Illinois a couple years ago.
Yeah. Oh, that was the worst, and that was the only game that that who didn't play. Owen didn't play in that game.
Well, didn't PMAC not play too? Or
no? Was it PMAC? Was it somebody didn't play that game?
Somebody. Well, I think it was PMAC because he was dealing with his mental stuff. So I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that was that year. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, I don't see their record on here, but they're in second place in the Big West or the
Mountain West. That's a good.
Mountain West. Yeah.
That's above average basketball conference.
Huh? 20-3,
Oof.
and they're
Stats guy Brad. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
Is
it.
Gonzaga part of the Mountain West too?
Whack, I think. But they could be either Whack or Mountain West, if I'm not
I was just
mistaken.
trying to figure out if they're in second place at 20-3. Who the heck is number one?
San Diego State would be my guess.
Oh yeah.
They're always insane when it comes to basketball. Let me look.
Kelvin told this to me the other day. He thinks
No.
that Beth leans on her close friends, Brad Stevens and her friends at UConn for some suggestions on a new bright coach. Okay, I misunderstood him. I think he just meant that she'd be seeking advice from Brad Stevens, but I do not want Brad Stevens coaching at Iowa because it'll be another slow down 50 passes a minute before you shoot the ball type offense again. You know, try to win games in the 50s and 60s if you can hold the team to that.
Yeah, but wouldn't the players get tired of 50 passes a game, though?
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was wrong. It is New Mexico. Good looking out, man.
For who? For what?
Mountain West. Number one.
Oh, New Mexico's number one in Mountain West?
Is that Steve Alford?
No, that used to be Steve Alford.
He's been like, what?
He's at Nevada now. Nevada?
Oh.
Nevada in Iowa, but Nevada in Nevada.
You see what I did there? Brad will like that. I did that on purpose.
Did you?
Yeah. Geez. I don't know. We'll figure it out when it kind of gets closer. Right now, I just want to get football over with, as in the NFL needs to end, and it needs to be after Sunday. And I'm ready for college baseball, because then that means we'll have college baseball, Major League Baseball. Playoffs are going to start popping up for the NBA, and the MLB is going to be back in business.
I'm sorry.
I'll do it. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Just to make you mad. What you got?
Yeah. So
we should play a YouTube video of Alford doing his little coaching stuff, working with Bob Knight. Did you ever see that video? There's a video. There's videos.
You mean before he became coach?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he had like videos of him as a player in the 80s. It's pretty cool stuff.
All right. Okay. We got a request to talk baseball here real quick. So why don't we promote your baseball show right now? And if you got anything you want to bring up on baseball, because I haven't really studied baseball much.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to this season because I feel like we're going to be an insanely better team than we were last year.
We have to be.
I gotta ask, Dean, because not a lot of people are real big baseball fans. So I've said this a bunch of times in our podcast, but does Jerry talk about baseball? Iowa baseball?
I don't think he has brought it up yet on his podcast, but now that baseball season's around the corner next week, I believe I wouldn't have no doubt that they will be talking about it.
So we've made the claim to fame, but now we could probably change it that we're like the only podcast, I believe. And if you want to correct us on it, that covers Iowa baseball. Let's see. I think if you go onto my Hawkaholics Facebook page, it's called the Hawkaholics.
Here you go. You want to see something special here?
Yeah.
I played for Rick Heller.
Hey, Brad, there you go. Let's get this guy on our show. Rick.
There you go. We need to get you guys. You guys need to get Jerry. Why don't you tell him about your baseball show? Who's all hosting it with you, and some of the guests that you're getting on in your first couple episodes?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research, and so don't get mad at me, ladies and gentlemen, but it took a lot of convincing to get me in to cover Iowa baseball, and I can't say I'm happy. I'm ecstatic that the guys talked me into it. So we got my co-host Brad Molly, we got Chris, Vandy Chris, who, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be talking some SEC baseball as well, because he is a Vandy fan and he's very prideful about his baseball. And sometimes Jason, who you all know is a co-host on your show, will be coming in every now and then to talk baseball. So I believe
Jason is pumped, by the way. He is totally pumped and ready for that.
we are going to have our first show is actually a week from today, 7:00. And we are going to have Bryson Walker and Andy Nelson on the show. And they are current Iowa players. I am Jack, dude. I am a huge Major League Baseball fan, but I'll tell you what, after all the convincing the guys have talked and gotten me into, man, I am so pumped. However, I didn't buy season tickets because I can't afford to go to all the games, nor do I have time to go to every single series at Dwayne Banks. But I believe this is going to be a really good team this year. I think we're going to at least make a decent run, get to the regionals. Heck, we may even be good enough to go to Omaha. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Fans and just.
Well, I think what I thought was going to be our strength last year was our pitching, and I think,
it usually is.
But it wasn't our strength last year. I mean, even the guys we were depending on didn't really come through for us last year. I mean, I did watch the games once they got to the Big Ten.
Well, that's kind of all you had.
I didn't see it much. I didn't see anything before that.
It sucks because, and Brad and I are going to have to figure this out. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the Hawkeye on all of the games, because I don't know if they want to spend money on D1Baseball.com, which they show tournaments and stuff on there. And you got Flow Sports, which I could probably borrow somebody's account to watch Flow Sports. And then
can't do that. We tried that with Jason.
Oh, really?
We tried borrowing Jason's account, and now they got a limit on how many people. You have to come in with a code now or something, and I don't know.
Oh, that sucks. Well, there goes that. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to listen to it on YouTube, which, granted, baseball on the radio is chef's kiss, especially God rest his soul, rest in peace, Bob Uecker. That was incredible.
I don't know if there is a better play-by-play guy than Uecker.
That broke my heart when I got the well, I was listening to the Milwaukee radio since I love Milwaukee sports, and like they announced it, and I was like, I couldn't move.
Yeah. The Major League movie that he did play-by-play on, his real play-by-play wasn't much different than what he was like right there.
And you know what's funny about him too? He could crack a joke and not even move his face. He just sits there stone-eyed and just normal, there, and then people would just be busting out laughing from his joke. But I'm super pumped. I'm probably gonna make at least 2 weekend series a month. I don't know if I'm gonna watch but I don't know if I'm gonna be at Banks Field every single game for the series.
You're very fortunate. You live so close. You know, I'm surprised you don't go to more stuff like that. I was telling my wife, if since I retired and moved to California right away. I said, if we were still living in Iowa as a retiree, I'd be at the Iowa games all the time.
Oh, I'd drag you. I would drag you out of the house. I'd find out where you lived, and I would drag you out of the house, because
it's only a 2.5 hour drive from where I used to live in Iowa. But
what's a 2.5 hour drive to us Midwesterners? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It become a 3 hour drive when I had to go get my grandson in Des Moines first, when I was actually going out of my way to get him and then go.
Stop at Bebop's on the way.
Oh, I haven't had a Bebop's in years.
So when you come back for your reunion or whatnot, and you fly in Des Moines, right, or do you fly Cedar Rapids?
We fly into Des Moines.
Okay, you're going to Bebop's. And actually, you have to go to Bebop's.
Okay.
For me and Brad, you have to go to Bebop's.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, if we can get Brad in town too, I wouldn't mind meeting up with you guys. I tried meeting up with Jerry for Iowa game at one of the local restaurant or bars in Des Moines, but it just didn't work out for us.
When are you coming to town?
I don't have an exact date, but it will be early this year. It will be. I will definitely be here the weekend. I think this 26th of September, because that's my class reunion. I'll have to look up. It's like the 26th, 25th, somewhere in there. I'll be there that weekend, but
is there an
we usually try to be there for 10 days to 2 weeks or something.
Is there an Iowa home game?
No, actually, there is not an Iowa home game on the week that we need it.
I would say if you had frequent flyer miles, I would say use them and just fly back for a game.
Yeah.
You need
If
to
I
do
was
that.
rich, I would. I mean, I'm poor now. Remember, I'm living on a fixed income.
I will teach you how to travel hack, and I'll get
All
you
right.
I'll get you a cheap flight. Hell, if you can get a cheap flight out to Iowa, I will get you set up as best as I can.
All right, I'll do that.
So
Then I'm staying at your house, dude. Save on hotel.
You don't want to stay in a. There's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do here.
Okay.
All I have is TV.
Jerry mentions that when he was at Upper Iowa, that's when he played for Heller, 89 to 90. So, yes, I imagine that Jerry's going to be covering some baseball.
Good. We need more. We need more coverage on it.
Well, let's go over some of these other. Okay, Heller is an Iowa guy. Grew up in Eldon, Iowa. Don't know where Eldon is. Do you?
American Gothic.
Okay. Bob was awesome. We're going to kind of catch up on some of these things. Jerry says I should try Steak and Shake. When I was in Waterloo years ago, when I went for a visit, my mom and I stopped there and had it out at the Crossroads Mall area.
Hey,
but it's no longer there.
Yeah, I think that's getting demolished. That'll probably make me cry.
The Crossroads Mall?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They demolished it. I'm pretty sure they did.
All the malls except for that big one in Des Moines seem to be not thriving anymore.
Coleridge and Coralville, Iowa is pretty good. Yes, as you can see down here, we are finishing in the top. Yeah, do you see this?
Mm-hmm. Iowa baseball stat.
Third.
Iowa's average finish in the Big Ten since 2020, third. Top in the Big Ten. That's great. That's why we're gonna make a bounce back, and the pitchers are gonna be. And we had, didn't you say somebody? Yeah. Brad says pitching was rough, but yet 4 pitchers were drafted. Where were they drafted to?
Oh God!
And did any of them play in the major leagues this summer after they got drafted?
They have to go through minors, man. It's really, really difficult to go straight. You're not every player is Paul Skeens, just right into the freaking. That it's so difficult to be, even if you're like a stud pitcher, and just win a bunch of games. The chances are you're gonna have to go to the minors.
Yeah. Brody Breck to Colorado. He's a Rocky. All right. I wouldn't have minded him being an Angel, but who wants to go to Angels because they never win? The owners don't care if they ever win.
Well,
they let their best all-time pitcher and hitter walk away to the Dodgers.
Everybody's going for the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, yeah. I know you're a Dodger fan.
Yes, sir. Cheaters.
The cheaters? No, I thought Houston was the cheaters.
No, because unlimited cap space, Dean. Unlimited cap space, man. We got money. Royals
fan here.
I'm sorry.
Royals do okay though, don't they?
Yeah, they're not bad. They actually had a really good year last year.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when you're an Angels fan and you're pretty much out of contention by the end of the first month of the season. By the end of April, you're just out of it. You just know there's no way you're coming back.
Always hop ship, dude. Always hop ship. I
might have to go with the crosstown rivals. Jerry says, but he despises the Chiefs.
I can't.
I enjoyed watching the Chiefs before they started their little run, but I'm kind of getting tired of seeing them showing up in every Super Bowl lately.
Yeah, it's annoying. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna watch. This is actually the second year in a row I haven't watched the Super Bowl. I'm not even. I can't do it.
But I want to watch the Eagles. I want to watch them fly. I want to, and I want to see our boy Cooper.
Are
just
you sure?
demolished?
Yeah,
Demolished. I want to see him. Wouldn't that be cool if he could somehow get to Mahomes and just put Mahomes on the ground?
You want to see him get. So he'll go up and he'll cough on Mahomes, and then it'll be
Mahomes will fall.
Yeah, it's his birthday too. It's him and Saquon Barkley's birthday on
Yeah,
Sunday.
I heard that.
So yeah, they'll just cough.
The other
Here's
thing, I just saw a clip where
happy birthday.
where Mahomes was going out of bounds and somebody touched him while he was still in bounds, and then and Mahomes throws himself on the ground.
Oh, flopping.
I go, if that wasn't the biggest flop in the world. I know that's why they're putting a new rule in the NFL called the Mahomes rule next year.
I was also going to tell you, so if you want another team to despise, and since you want to leave the Angels so bad, I think you should get rid of your Vikings too. They're not going anywhere ever.
Well, they did chump it at lately. Every time they seem to be in the running, it seems like the last game or two of the regular season they chump it, and then they always lose out in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, since you live somewhat by San Francisco, you and Brad can be buddies and be Niner fans.
Oh, I like the Niners. Don't get me wrong. I don't know who I would root for if the Vikings and the Niners had to fight for a spot in the Super Bowl. I don't know who I would root for. Either way, I win.
You're a California guy now. You should probably stick to your roots.
15-yard penalty for touching Mahomes. Don't touch Mahomes. Obermuller. Who's Obermuller?
Yes.
Obermuller.
Yes.
Oh, the pitcher. The pitcher.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I forgot. Yeah.
Where's he?
Marlon.
Okay.
Well, he's out though. He's old guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 48 years old. If he was still playing ball. Oh, Cade. Yeah. Cade's still around. He's a beast, but his dad played for the Rangers.
Okay.
I think he got hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still learning this, so just bear with me. I don't know jack shit about college baseball like I should, so I apologize. But if you want to talk Major League Baseball, dude, we'll be here all night. So
yeah.
he's from Iowa City. Yeah, his father played in the majors for the Royals, Brewers, and Marlins.
He's coming back. The ace coming back.
He's a stud. So yeah, by the time we're a month into our show, I'll probably have my wits end of knowing my college baseball. They're just gonna school me. So next week, if you guys tune in, which I pray to God all of you tune in, I'm just gonna be and everybody else is gonna talk, and I'll just ramble about nonsense while they talk about Iowa baseball, and Brad will be spitting knowledge about the upcoming tournament against Stetson, and I'm just gonna be I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah. Calvin says he hates just to add facts. That's what you are here for. You're part of the show, Calvin. We consider you part of the show because you help us with facts. You keep us straight. You keep us on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I'd rather have read stuff and then help correct us and improve on our knowledge than
I've had him live on the show a couple different times, and both of those shows have been two of my among the heaviest viewed shows. So that's so
how
people like him when he gets on here and talks. People listen.
How to get ratings 101. I like it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told Calvin. He'll come. I'll get him back. Sometime.
Sounds good to me. But God, we were all over the place with that.
We were. I mean, we didn't quite get to where I wanted, but hey, sometimes I just let the show go where it goes.
That's what me and Brad do. We just basically let it flow, and it usually.
Yeah, that's what I kind of do. I mean, I always come out with a plan. I sent you the plan earlier, but.
Right.
Hey, we didn't get to any football today, and I know you wanted to talk to football.
Yes, I do want to talk football because that's my favorite sport in the whole wide world.
Okay. What do you want to talk about? Tell me. What's
Have
on the
you
mind?
guys-
All the recruits that we signed today that officially signed for the 2026
How many
class?
did we sign? I only saw two things on the Hawkeye football Facebook page. There was only two. That kid from Spirit Lake, and then that.
He's a walk-on.
Yeah,
And did you know the kid from Spirit Lake, his twin brother, signed with Iowa State today?
that kind of reminds me of the Cottons back in the day. You don't remember Darian and those guys?
Marshall
were
Cotton? Marshall Cotton?
Well, Jordan.
Oh, okay. All right.
He was a rival of mine. I went to Fairfield and he went to Mount Pleasant. Hated Mount Pleasant with a passion back in high school. And those were our rivals. And I was so mad that I had to like him because he was a Hawkeye. I'm trying to think of the kid's name. But
Okay, here's the 2026 guys that I found signed today. And honestly, I think there's another walk-on or two that's not included in here.
Jacob Wallace. There he is.
Yeah. The 16 Scullies, Calvin, are from the 2025 class who will be joining. Those who haven't already enrolled at Iowa will be enrolling in June. So those, but this one we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 guys. I don't know if this list is complete. Dylan Stecker, like we just talked about, he's a wide receiver.
Right.
A whole bunch of offensive linemen: Hudson Parliament, Colin Witters,
Yes.
Owen Linder, Carson Nelson. By the way, I want to give a shout out. He's from Waterloo West. I'm a Waterloo boy myself. Went to high school at Columbus, right around the corner from West.
You see my face right now? How I look at disgust.
What?
So
Waterloo?
Not the west side, the other side. And it has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with it.
Do you know that Waterloo is getting rid of both East and West High? They're combining and building a new high school. They're going to kind of have one single high school.
Just get rid of that garbage East school. I can't stand. God, they made me so mad. So I went to City High for my first 2 years in high school, and yeah, I couldn't stand playing them. They pissed me off. Just like West High and Prairie.
Well, by the time you guys played them, they were no longer dominant in sports anymore.
No, but
I grew up. I grew up around East High. I was actually in the East High district. I would have gone there if I went to public, but I went to private on Columbus. But honestly, when I grew up, they were dominant in football. They were dominant in basketball. You couldn't beat them.
No, but the way they acted in general, that they acted like they were big shots. Like all they had to do was just do a little Superman all the way over to the Unidome, and then we're automatic state qualifiers.
Yeah. Okay. The last 2 people on this list: Marcelo Vitti and Cash Herrera. Rumor has it that Marcelo Vitti was going to change and flip to Michigan State, but I don't even know if Vitti signed today or not. I just have him down as probably of signing today. Calvin, help me out on this one.
It won't let me log into my 24/7 account. Otherwise, I would have jumped on this. Yeah, I only saw 2 on my, and usually the social media page is very good. Yes, I am from Fairfield. Well, my family's from Fairfield, but I have a lot of family in Fairfield. I was born in Iowa City, but I spent most of my life in Fairfield. So yes.
Yeah. Carson Cooney, did we sign him today too? Number 6 rated linebacker. Oh, we also signed today Jacob Wallace, but he's going to be part of the 2025 class. Cornerback. We got 5 walk-ons coming on, but I don't know if that's the 2025 class or the 2026 class because I'm focused on the 2026 class. I've been trying to find the walk-ons, but as I told Calvin once, I couldn't find any.
Okay.
There are 2026 guys, Parliament and them. Whitty is 2026. Yeah, that's who I've been talking about. Okay. Those are the ones that signed today, the 2026 class, right?
Yes.
Or I'm sure, right? Help me if I'm
No.
wrong, or is that no? That's the 2025 class. Calvin got me again. Those guys, none of these guys I said have signed today because they're all 2026 people.
I think we had two 2025s today, if I'm not mistaken.
Is Sticker 2025? Sticker?
Let me look. Pathetic.
Okay.
2025.
Cool. Okay.
Yep, we're good.
So we picked up two more. Okay. Yeah, my bad. I was thinking 2026 was signing today, but they don't sign until November or December. I'm sorry. They don't sign until December. See, that's what makes me nervous, though, is these guys are committed, but you know what happens between now and the next almost a year now? It's what, a year?
Right.
10
Yeah.
months? 10 months that these guys can be poached, prodded, and asked to leave.
It's crazy though. Like, yeah, you say that, but like back in the day, like it wasn't that long ago either. Even before NIL, like even if like there's guys that committed like 2 years out and they stuck with it. It was rare that you saw people back out of a commitment.
Yeah, you never did.
And now it's just like, okay, I'm gonna commit to Iowa, but yet I'm gonna go visit freaking Minnesota.
Well, that's the thing too. Is Vetti said he was going to go and tour Michigan State. I didn't think Iowa, once you committed to them, even allowed you to do that.
Yeah, see, if I was a student athlete, I would, or not, if I was a prospective athlete, I'd be so scared to be like, oh, hey, I'm committed, but yet I still want to take advantage of my recruiting visits and go to another school and look for, just for the heck of
Leave
it.
it to Calvin to remind me we also poach people.
That's okay.
We
I
do.
don't care. Might as well, right? It's a cutthroat world. Screw them.
Yeah. So, okay, I think this is a good place to leave the show tonight before we have to.
Yeah, let's leave.
Getting late over there in the Midwest for you guys.
It's
still
also
early for me, though.
it's also very icy where I live. Kelvin, I hope you're doing okay, man. I don't know.
By the way, Jerry
Yeah.
did ask you if you were getting ice where you were at. So
Yes. I'm about to go put on my hockey skates and go out and play some hockey.
yeah, we woke up to pouring rain this morning. I went out to the garage, and my wife had left the window open in the garage, and it was pouring in from the garage window.
Do you know how many times I have to hear Brad over there bragging about his Florida weather? Now I have to listen to you talk about California weather. I can't.
Well, can I tell you a little secret? It was cold today. It was only in the 50s today.
Oh, I know for a fact Cali gets cold as heck in the morning.
Yeah, we're but with all the rain, I think it was like 40 this morning instead of the 30s, and then was 50s today. But guess what? We've had for like 5 or 6 days in a row now. We've had 70-degree weather, but it went away today, and we're not going to get above the middle 50s the rest of this week or next week.
Oh, you poor thing.
We're back to winter, and we got a lot of rain coming too, off and on.
Poor
Which
thing.
this is our
so
rainy
sorry.
season. This is our rainy season. You know, once we get to the end of February, summer will be coming back.
You poor thing. And Phil saw a shadow, right? Did he see his shadow?
Rain put out the fires. Oh, Jerry, we were just talking about that before we went on the show. I really don't know. Nobody's talking about it on the news anymore. It's no one's talking about it. And
That's sad.
I tried finding out. I've asked some people, and nobody seems to know. So I'm assuming that the rains put the fires out.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, they're all talking about tariffs and ice and all that stuff. So
I guess he saw his shadow. 6 more weeks of winter.
ugh, gross.
All right.
Well,
Well, it's like that every year, right? I mean,
Yeah,
are we ever going to have it say it's not?
No, definitely not.
I think spring comes around the mid-March, about 19th of March or somewhere around there. That's about 6 weeks away.
Yeah, and you're in spring and fall all year, right?
Us?
Yes.
No, we're in summer and fall all year.
Must
There
be
is no
nice.
spring here.
Must be.
It'll
nice.
be it'll hang around 50 or 60, and then we'll get to about May, and then it'll just shoot up to 100. You know, It doesn't just gradually rise. It just goes from here to here.
Must be nice, man.
Yeah. Well, then about late October and November, it starts to cool off under 100.
Lucky.
No, I mean, honestly, we in our pool, we go swimming when it's 100 degrees outside. The water's 100 degrees too. It's not comfortable. It's not cold. It's not cold at all.
Must
So-
be nice. All right.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you guys
Okay.
for watching. I
Thank
just
you.
want to say that we are part of the Villains Network now on this, and
Yep.
so I'm going to get us out of here. Please first of all, hit the subscribe button. I picked up a few subscribers this week. Thank you. While you're doing it, while you're thinking about it, hit that like button right now before you leave. Hit the like button, and then share it. Share it with all your friends. This will be a
Yes.
good one to share.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right.
All
Let's
right.
get out of here.
All right. Sounds good.